Welcome to Camrose, Alberta. Incorporated in 1906 with a population of 412, Camrose is now a thriving community of 17,000. Camrose is home to Augustana University. Formerly known as Camrose Lutheran College, Augustana began operating in 1911. By 1985, it became the first private university in Alberta, and by 2004, it was a part of the University of Alberta in Edmonton. Augustana provides a welcoming community and a place to make memories and call home. Quoting the Augustana campus website, Augustana is a place where students matter, teaching is regarded a vocation, where community is an everyday experience. I have spoken with some Augustana alumni to find out just how true that quote is.
Chose Augustana because it was the smallest, and I kind of like that small town feel.
I think the nice thing about Augustana is that because it's small, you don't get stuck within your own discipline. So students in science can connect with students in arts, and in fact we did.
On the whole, I would say that out of all, I never had a professor that really wasn't willing to go the extra mile.
Mm-hmm. Theme would definitely be one of relationship, and not that I was friends with most of my professors, not at all, but the vast majority, you got a sense that, as Karsten said, they really cared about who you were and what you were doing in class, and so it was nice to know that you mattered, I guess, in that way.
It made you feel like you were part of the decision-making process in your class. Like, it wasn't just what the professor said and that's just how it goes. He let us negotiate and, have a say in our education, which was really awesome. I liked that.
I would say I went on to do grad school stuff at University of Toronto, and while obviously it's a different kind of experience, in many ways the teaching and the learning environment at Augustana was never bested by the U of T. It was both a combination of the small class size and the really neat relationships that we formed with profs that I never reached that same height again. I could also speak to the staff at Augustana as well, who really saw themselves as part of the educational venture at Augustana. So it wasn't just about the individual professors, but the administrative assistants, custodial staff, and cafeteria staff that sort of engaged with us.
The experience of eating in the cafeteria, which sounds weird as one of my favorite activities, but it was a communal experience, and it was sort of a nice thing to know that you were going to see the people who you lived with 3 times a day. You were going to connect with your friends and the people who you didn't know well, but you kind of knew from class, and you could kind of keep in touch with people. It was so easy because everyone was there. It was this communal experience. So I think that's one of the things that I remember fondly about Augustana.
After hearing the community plays a big role in making the Augustana website quotation true, I wanted to understand how the Augustana community played a role in developing relationships.
I want to say that it's definitely a pivotal point. It's definitely a common bond that certainly it anchored.
We can talk about it.
It anchored us both to Camrose. I went to university here for 5 years. I was in Camrose more or less for the better part of 5 years.
Yeah.
After I finished, Jessica started going to university, so again, we're still here, and it definitely played a big part in us being here and being together. I don't know. I'm certainly say it's not the reason, but it certainly played a role, I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely, I agree. And it's just nice, that we have that in common, that we can, that's our, we have memories together from Augustana.
In terms of being the place where we connected, I think it definitely provided the space for that. But I think also for what Augustana stood for, I think, and our experiences there, I think we share a lot of similarities in bringing together social ideas of social responsibility, faith, intellectual inquiry, and having those as a part of a unified whole. That I think that also brought us together. I think is that shared
set of values or whatever.
yeah.
Through the interview process, I learned that Augustana has remained true to their mission statement and has provided an environment throughout the ages where a sense of community is upheld and bonds are created. In my 5 years at Augustana, I have had a place to call home and a community of friends and faculty that have helped me to build great memories. And I believe that years from now, others will also say the same.